I'll be honest, one thing I learned about this year so far is that there's a lot of, we trust the organization, we don't. We trust them, we don't. Get rid of everything, fire sale. Wait, maybe we have a chance. We have zero chance. Wait, I think that they got something working. Throughout this whole entire season so far, it's been a really interesting season. Nonetheless, though, Draftkings Sportsbooks went ahead and surveyed Bengals fans throughout the first 6 weeks of the season to see what their confidence meter was if the Bengals organization as a team was moving in the right direction. Now, obviously, we started this season off, I feel like, with 100%. Because it's offseason, we got Orlando Brown. Jonah looks good at right tackle. Joe had a calf strain, but he came back healthy. It looked like he was healthy for week 1. Everything looked like it was going to be perfect going into this Browns versus Bengals game week 1. Obviously, things kind of escalated badly against us there. And after week 1, the Bengals sat at a solid 75% people trusted the team was going in the correct direction. So they dropped 25% after our loss to week 1 versus Browns, which honestly is very understandable. The offense looked absolutely awful, right? It was clear that Joe had a calf strain still, but we were told that his calf strain was better. So a lot of people felt like, okay, well, they kind of lied to us about the calf strain and the problems with the calf strain. And then our defense looked good week 1, but our offense did absolutely nothing. So it looked like, okay, well, maybe our offense can't do anything moving forward. And we're going to be in a long, level of hurt because we can't do anything offensively. So after week 1, understandably, we dropped 25%. Then week 2 happened. Played the Ravens. First half of the Ravens game, we could not do anything on offense. I mean, it looked like week 1. It was so horrendous on week 2, starting off on, the first half. But Charlie Jones has a punt return. Only positive thing in that first half was a punt return touchdown. Second half, we come back, and if it wasn't for a Geno Smith interception on a really good productive drive, we could have potentially won that game. Well, after that loss, we only dropped down a tad bit. We dropped down to around 49%, which, again, is understandable. We lost that game. But at the same time, though, I will say coming out of the Ravens game, I was actually more confident than I've ever been because I thought, even though we lost the Ravens game, which we knew we would potentially lose going into that because at that point we learned that Joe has a calf strain. Joe's not 100%. Joe has problems, right? We learned because of all those factors, well, at least we looked good in the second half. And it looked like the old Bengals again. Our defense was playing good. Our offense was playing good. And other than shutting down Lamar Jackson, let's be honest, it's almost impossible. It looked like we had a chance to really be the old team again. So I think a lot of people got more confident. So we did drop around 26% here, but it is kind of understandable for that said reason. Then we beat the Rams in week 3. And, I mean, our confidence shot up through the roof. 77% of fans said, yup, that's it. Like, we looked good in the second half of that Ravens game. We really, picked it up. We were the team again with the same old Cincinnati Bengals that we know the last couple of years, who are a championship team, who's a Super Bowl team, and everyone got so confident. And I feel like to a certain degree, it was kind of like overconfidence, but it was okay because it was like, listen, this is what we have a right to be happy. We beat the Rams in a game that really, if you don't look at the final drive where our defense kind of just gave up and let them get a touchdown, that game was not close in the end. So it was like, okay, this is things to come. And now we play the Titans, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks. All 3 very winnable, easy games. And that was the mindset but for most fans going to week 4 was, we have this set up. And then it was the massacre of week 4. And we went from 77% of fans thought, you know what, the Zach Taylor, Duke Tobin, Katie Blackburn, they know what they're doing, to all the way down to a season low of 22%. a 50% drop, 55% drop from 1 week. And I don't blame fans at all. I really don't. And I don't know anyone who could blame the fans for that. Because we got massacred. And everything that we've seen so far that looked good, that looked like we knew what we were doing, that looked like we were coming back to the old Bengals type of stuff, it was ugly. It was ugly. It was disgusting. I mean, we lost on offense. We lost on defense. We lost on special teams. We lost on the offensive line. We lost on the defensive line. We lost in the secondary, the receiving corps. It was like there was nothing good to take away from that Titans loss. There was nothing. And it wasn't like the Titans were considered the best team in football. It wasn't like the Titans were considered amazing. But what we did take away from that game, which actually was the worst scenario, and even probably put more fans, in the lower category, was we learned, Joe truly is hurt with his calf strain. And we might have to sit him the next couple weeks because of, how everything is, going out. And I think a lot of fans, they went down 22% because they said, you guys knew he had a calf strain, and you underplayed it. Jamar Chase came out himself and said, and before the season started, Joe should sit out to week 5. He shouldn't be out there. He's way more hurt than, he honestly lets on. And a lot of fans, I feel like, thought, if you guys knew this as an organization, if you knew this as, your player was hurt, why was he not out for the first couple of weeks? Why was he out there when he shouldn't have been? So I think a lot of fans lost confidence because they're like, we got slaughtered, and you knew the problem going into this that would have not avoided us getting slaughtered. We still would have gotten slaughtered with Jake Browning. But I feel like it would have been like, okay, well, we expected to get slaughtered with Jake Browning, right? While with Joe, it was like, okay, so now we're coming out of this game where we just got a teeth punched in our mouth, right? We just got our face punched in, and now we're coming out of this game like we don't know what we're doing. Like, we don't have any positives right now. And also, at the time, we were 2-3? No, 1-3. Yeah, because we beat the Rams, lost. So we're 1-3, and it's like, what's going on? So then we play the Arizona Cardinals, right? And we need to win this game. And we do. We beat the Cardinals, and in all aspect range, we jumped right back up to 77% chance to, or confidence by our fans. And I think a lot of the reasons why was because we won in every facet of that game. We won on defense. We won on offense. Yeah, the second quarter was kind of a forgettable one, at the end of the day, but it doesn't matter because we played great the other 3 quarters. And we really started off that gate really fast and heavy, and then we ended it very good. So a lot of people were like, okay, the team is back. Like, this offense is firing all cylinders. The defense is looking good. We were great. And then I will say, our last game, Seahawks, and this is where we stand right now. We stand right now around 53%. And again, why are we sitting at 53%, which is almost the exact same as week 1? Because of the fact that the second half of that Seahawks game. Well, I think a lot of fans are excited that, our defense led us to a win and kept us in that game and won us the game. It's disappointing that we are still finding ourselves here in the same problems in week 2, in week 6 now, with our offense in that second half of that game. If our offense that second half of that game, let's say they would have went out there, they were very pedestrian, but they put up a couple good drives, and they scored, 10 points on offense, like a touchdown and field goal on offense. I think our confidence rating right now would be 97%. Be 97% because our defense played great football there. If our offense would have done anything, they would be like 97%. But the fact that our offense didn't do anything, and it was absolutely awful in the second half, really speaks to a lot of confidence of why do we not have a better tight end? Why do we not have a better system on offense when it comes to play calling? Why are we calling vanilla plays? Why are we not calling creative plays? And then you had an offense coordinator come out and kind of blame, the players and not the coaches. And it started this spark/debate of you can't point the finger at everybody else when in reality it could be you as the problem. And I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying that I feel like a lot of fans start thinking that, and it's like, by pointing your finger at people, you're not going to fix anything, right? You're not going to fix anything by creating scapegoats. You have to fix stuff by taking accountability and then fixing it internally, right? So it is what it is at the end of the day. We play the 49ers, and if we lose to the 49ers, I don't see how anyone's going to drop their confidence at all. I think a lot of fans, myself included, think it's very possible we lose to the 49ers. I mean, the 49ers, we're plus 6 points. Let me go ahead and do this real fast. We're plus 6 going into this game. So this is not surprising if we lose this game. Now, obviously, the Bills game, Texans, Ravens, Steelers, those are games we got to win. But this game, it's not surprising. The 49ers are one of the best teams in the league, even though they just lost to the Cleveland Browns, which, okay. But if we lose this game, as long as we show something on offense, show something on defense, I don't think any fans are going to lose confidence. I think we're going to sit really, honestly, at the same spot right here going into week 7. Not week 7, sorry, week 9, if, everything pans out correctly in this game. But again, like I said, it does make sense. And a lot of their, I think a lot of circumstances of Bengals fans kind of going up and down this season does make sense to a certain degree. But again, at the end of the day, you got to trust the process. I've been saying since the very beginning, we got to relax. We'll be fine. This is a Super Bowl run, but sometimes in Super Bowl runs, you have drama. You have a roller coaster of events. And it just makes the ending of winning a Super Bowl that much sweeter, that much nicer, right? And I will continue to have that confidence, as some people have said, delusion, throughout this whole entire season, but people have called me delusional for saying we're going to win the Super Bowl after week 1 when we lost, after week 2 when we lost. And I still said after week 3 we're going to win the Super Bowl. I said after week 4 we're going to win the Super Bowl. And every single time it's like, oh, you're delusional, man. You're delusional. We're not going to win. We're not going to win. We're not going to win. When we're in the Super Bowl this year and we're winning, tell me we're not going to win. It's my cup of tea. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.